Welcome everybody to our new series here at Linfield Football Club, The Blue Shirt I Wore. Today I'm being joined with Michael Gault. Michael, thanks very much for taking time to join us this afternoon.
Am I saying something on that? Yeah, lots of good memories here to look at and serve as supporters, so looking forward to it.
Looking forward to hearing it myself. Okay, Michael, we'll talk about your first season. Your first shirt you wore.
Yeah, I remember it well. That was obviously Roscoe before we went into Umbro Nike, so it was quite obviously yellow, so you sort of remember the kit. And I think the first team were in the Irish Cup final against Portadown. So David Jeffrey obviously gave a few young boys a chance. I think like Alan Manis and Peter Thompson were playing that match, and I remember it was down in Mourneview. Obviously had a weekend squad out that day, and I think we were beat 2-0, but I still won man the match somehow. So that was just, that'll always stick out in my head, that kit. And obviously it wasn't until the following year, I don't think. It was, so I done well that day, I got man the match. I wondered why am I not playing all the time here now. So I think I took up to about Christmas time and the team were struggling. And I took a Christmas party intervention with myself and David Jeffrey. They asked why am I not playing this team, and I'll not tell you the exact words I used to him, but from Christmas time onwards, the following season, I remember using that kit there and had a really good season. I think I won Young Player of the Year and a Player of the Month, and there was just no fear. Just went out and just played every game like it was like a cup final, and I loved it. And I think Linfield came fourth or something that season, but personally I had a really good year, and which obviously set me going to the next season.
Just how did you find it then, moving from the Swifts to the first team? Was it a big step for you?
See, to be honest, I obviously take the Swifts and all now, and it is a massive jump, but I just touched really lucky, and just went in with literally no fear and just went and just played. It was obviously a lot similar than I am now, and just could run about the pitch all day long, and was just super confident, and I just really embraced it, and I found it easy actually. It was just, I wanted more of this here, and I'm so desperate to play all the time, so it was just within myself, just sheer determination to play as many games as I could.
When you say about the determination and the hunger there, is that what you would give and bring into the young players now?
Yeah, we try our best. Obviously Jimmy McGrew's down there and Chris Kingsley as well. Jimmy's the current captain, and we're just trying to instill the mentality of what it's like to be at Linfield. You don't come and play one good game in every 4 or 5. You have to be on your mettle and playing really, really well week in, week out. And if you don't last at Linfield too long. So again, when I was playing, so I've experienced what they've all experienced. I came through the under-18s, reserves, first team, whatever. And if I could do it, any of those boys could do it, and I just got it through sheer hard work and determination. So it's the opportunities are there for them to go out and grasp it.
We'll now move on to your second season then at the club. An iconic kit, you could say, that everybody always remembers.
Yeah, because obviously I was very lucky to have lovely kits and sponsors, and I think, no disrespect to Roscoe, sort of all the boys still slag it, whatever, but again it was all new and fresh and Umbro, and it was just nice and simple but a lovely kit. And again, it was a very, very good season. I think that was the first year win the league title, and as you can see all the signed jersey. I think it was the Setanta Cup final actually. We actually got the new kit that week or something. So
this was worn basically in the build-up to? Basically
in the build-up, the semi-finals and the league campaign, so we've done very well. And obviously I think before the Setanta Cup match, Gary Eccles gave us those jerseys, so I knew it was a big occasion, so I got a signed, kept it in my bag, and then obviously we wore a different top for that Setanta Cup, but that brings back all those players' names when you look back on it. All those boys played against Shelburne that night, which was probably one of the best nights in football. So just have it as a memory, and such a nice kit and a great experience is something I'll always cherish.
Just what was it like to play in the Setanta Cup, given the fact that was the first season it was going, and there was so many surprise packages, especially with the group stages? And
it was brilliant. Going back to, I wish there was something like it now. It was literally just, we'd done so well domestically, and it was obviously a tough challenge domestically, but we embraced it and done really well. But for this new exciting competition against teams from down south who were like that Shelburne team at the time, as you know, were not too far away from the group stages. They played Deportiva, I think, as well.
Yeah, managed by former general manager Pat Fellon.
Yeah, that's right. I can remember clear as day. Pat at half time. Literally, Pat's obviously small in stature, but he's a magnificent player, and I can still hear him shouting at those boys at half time. We were 2-0 up, we were flying, but we actually just stopped our team talk, and you could hear Pat Fellon ripping into the Shelburne team full of superstars. But we were outstanding that night, and Spike and Peter, the two boys, popped up with goals, like, and that's something I'll always remember. We even joked on the way down the bus, myself and Spike, like, saying we have no chance here. Like, they were, I think it was Crow and Byrne up front, and Wes Houlihan and Doe as well.
There were
like,
a lot of players that moved across the water.
They were brilliant, like, but those boys were so great. And I remember them clapping our Linfield support off that day, who were down in numbers. Mum and Dad were down watching as well, like, but they were so respectful to us and clapped us off the pitch, like. But our supporters that night were unreal, like. It was just, if every night in football was like out there, you'd be the luckiest man in the world.
The atmosphere was electric.
Yeah, because we didn't give ourselves, at Linfield we always expected to win every game, but down there we weren't stupid, like. We were down the bus now, like, and we said, here, we'll keep this to 2 or 3, we'll do well, like, we'll get a night out in Dublin after. But it was literally a superb performance from the staff, the players, the supporters. Everything that night was just probably the best night in football memory.
Because Darren Murphy started left back that game, and I think they tried to target him a bit, but nothing
went
got
off
past
injured.
him.
Was a wee fella, or Baker, wasn't it?
Yeah, Baker went off, and then Bobby Ryan came on for them, and he went to Newcastle, I think, after that.
Because Baker was flying, and poor Murphy was dad marking him, but then he went off injured, and then we got the goals, brilliant times, just before, the second one was just before half time, I think, so I went 2-0 up thinking, let's hold on here, but it was the players we had, like Big Alan in the nets and Spike and Peter up front, and Mackers, Winky and Noel, just strong, proper footballers, like, who went out and managed the game, and obviously with David Jeffrey on the sidelines and Brian McLaughlin and Alfie Wiley at that time as well. It was just a joy to play in, like, and we were never getting beat that night.
Okay, moving on then to a personal accolade then for yourself was...
Yeah, I think I was actually an under-23 squad I was called up in. I remember Steve Davis. I think I actually came on for Steve Davis. I came on for him a couple of times, I'll tell you later. But I think I was under-23 match at Mourneview. So again, I was just used to playing for Lisburn Youth, and then all of a sudden the Linfield and breaking in the first team. So all this Northern Ireland experiences, the Tanta Cups were just all like a rabbit in headlights at times. Like, but again, I don't think I fully embraced the Northern Ireland challenges when I had them. Like, it was more, should I be here? All these boys from England, Sammy Klingons and Paddy McCourts and Steve Davis and all, and Chris Brunt as well, like. So it was brilliant players, like, and I think I was just like an Irish League player with that sort of inferiority complex, but which I shouldn't have had, like. And I tell the boys now not to have things like that there, but it was just an overwhelming experience, but something in the game which will never be taken away. So I think I came on for 20 odd minutes in that match, and yeah, I think it was played Czech Republic under 23s or something it was that day. But yeah, proud to have it there in one of the memories, and something I always look back on fondly.
Okay, moving on then to a season that I'm sure most of our fans will never forget, and I'm sure the players are like, the Grand Slam winning season.
Yeah.
Before we start, obviously we had the Santanta Cup win, obviously the heartache then of losing to the Glens, and obviously they went on to win the league the following week after that defeat. But how much did you, as the players and the squad, even Big Davey at the time, use that as motivation then to go on and do what you've done then?
It wasn't a secret now. I think we might have won the clean sweep that year, who knows? We had such a good team and a good manager, good everything, but that absolute kick in the, you know what, against Glentoran was just an absolute sickener. I think I was suspended that day, and it was just, I'll never forget it. The last 10 minutes I'm just sitting watching the crowd trouble, bottles back and forth. I'll never forget that day either, like. But the Glentoran, they went and beat us, basically won the league that day, and it was just, we were so disappointed and gutted. Didn't need anyone to tell us whatever. We were so annoyed at ourselves and letting everyone down. But it just pushed us on to go on to.
Because see, everybody seems to forget the game that happened a few days after that in the Santanta Cup. That's actually, wasn't it? Yeah, that we actually beat them and then moved on to the Santanta Cup final. And
there you go. If we had won the league that year, I think the Glentoran would have had something, a bit of revenge in their minds against us. But we went out and I think it was 4-0 or something to beat them. It
was.
And then we went down to, obviously, the Santanta Cup final, which we talked about, went down and won it. And then just that following season, it was literally, I think we saying Big Oran Kearney came in. Always had me, Mackers and Mountsie already, and Spike and Peter, and there was a few additions as well come on board. Like, it was just a scary squad, like, and we just blew everyone apart that year. And I thought this was going to be the easiest season we'll ever have. Like, and
tell us a little bit about then the finals and the games that stand out from this season.
Obviously, that takes pride in my house. That's the only jersey we'll have the Northern Ireland one up as well. But this is signed by the full clean sweep squad, and obviously we've got the 4 medals in there with the memorial one with the clean sweep as well. Like, so again, that's the County Antrim Shield. Oh, that's a good. I won man of the match in that final. Actually, Noel Bailey sent a wee YouTube clip to me. So it was Ballymena, we were 1 down, came back and won 2-1.
That was a game that stands out in my memory because I remember Kevin Kelby.
He hit the bar with 10 minutes to go.
He was clean through the ball, bobbled up, and
Was it Owen popped up with the winner, was it?
I think it was Owen and Spike, because I think both started on the bench.
I think Owen scored the first and Spike scored the winner, wasn't it? One of the two. But again, we had just many, I think with all our midfielders except me were in double figures for that season, so it was just a joy to play with. And the League Cup final was Glenn Ferguson hat-trick. It was literally sewing up after about half an hour. It was brilliant.
That was against the Glens, wasn't it?
That was against the Glens, like, so the Glens was
common theme coming on here, but
yeah. That was probably one of our poorest matches to play this season. Like, I've watched it back when at lockdown and all. There was on the YouTube and things like that as well on the Linfield website. And
was it Peter's second goal or was it Philip Simpson OG? That's what.
Right, it was off Peter's back, wasn't it? Usually it's off his shin. Peter's shin. We called him for years, like, but it was. I think Peter obviously claimed that there, but that was just once we got that second goal, we just relaxed, and that was we just went.
Like, obviously the Glens went 1-0 up that day. Yeah. Michael Halliday scored, and then we scored right on half time.
Yeah.
Just how big of a factor do you think that was in that match?
Massive. You know, football, if you go in 1 at half time, but obviously we got the equaliser just before the half time, so I think that changed David Jeffrey's team talk then. So it was sort of like when you yourselves, like, we just need to go out and play a bit better, and we should win this match, like. But
because we got the winner. Quite early on, but then
yeah.
it just seemed that the game management was brilliant, and they never really threatened after that. You just nearly got the feeling that they just knew the game was over and that was it.
Yeah, I think it was just written in the stars to have a season they got there. It was just a freaking wonderful season, and just with like our squad, if you look at not a big squad of 24, whatever it was like, but it was basically the same 11 playing week in, week out with a few wee changes here and there. Like, so it was very lucky with it in terms of injuries. Not many players got injured that season. We all played well, and it was very easy for David Jeffrey just to keep picking the same team and the boys just looking after it, and it was just a joy to be a part of, like, and something that takes pride in my house every day I look at it, and something that will not be taken away from me, and loved it.
Tell us a little bit about the significance then, obviously, of that match where when the Irish Cup you win the clean sweep. Did that give you any added pressure?
No, I didn't even realise it, because remember the Glens a couple of years before, whatever, had the t-shirts and all made and things like that there, and then it came out,
yes.
Like, but we didn't, it was Linfield, it was just another game of football, like, and to go out and win, and it was only my third or fourth season, like, so I didn't know about the history books and how many times it'd be done before, to be honest. Like, I remember Noel Bailey coming more or less saying, like, this is it, like, this is brilliant. I was like, it sunk in the end, whatever. But at the time, it was just like going 1-down against the Glens. The crowd was unbelievable from both sets of supporters. There were so many there. It was class atmosphere. You're just thinking, like, we can't let this pass us by and get beat. Like, I didn't even care about the clean sweep. It was just, let's win another trophy, let's win another game of football, and that's all it was, really.
Because I think that was the first time since the war that Linfield had actually beat the Glens in an Irish Cup final as well.
I remember seeing about the records and all coming up to it. Like, the Glentoran teams they had a really good team. Like, it was Paul Lehmans and Colin Nixon's and all. I think Colin
That's probably the last time they had a really good side too, to be fair.
Yeah. So yeah, well, it's good to see anyway. But no, it's something that we put right on the day. It was the first time I beat them in a long time in the final, and it was just until after the celebrations, a few days after, is when we went to Cutter's Wharf for a couple of days and all. The celebrations were brilliant with a group of a lot of the boys are still very close friends to me. Paul McAreevy's, etc., and Tim Mountseys are still very close friends to me. So to share it with them boys and to look back on, so that's near 20 years coming up now as well. So
you mentioned there all the close friendships. You were at a game there not that long ago and you were all together. It was good to see.
Yeah, that's the thing. We've got a group chat and all, whatever, so I'm kicked out of it.
You were giving Oren a bit of stick, I seen when he was coming in that night.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, we're very lucky to play football and win things with people you can call friends till this day, like the Winkies and Doogies, Orens, Spikes, Peters, and go through them all, like Doogie, Jimbo. There's just so many great lads there, Alan Manos as well. So it was just a pleasure, and we were very lucky to win things as well.
Okay, so moving on to another Northern Ireland shirt. Tell us a little bit about this one.
Yeah, my mind's going a bit blank now, but yeah, that was called in the under-21s. I think it was a qualifier. We played against Scotland at the Oval. And I came on at half time and done really well. So again, to be selected for your country under-21s, it was just because I was playing well for Linfield, so to get recognised was brilliant. But people ask me about Northern Ireland, just that whatever, like, and what's your memories, but literally, honestly, it was the Linfield, to win the trophies with Linfield and doing so well for Linfield, and meant more to me than playing for Northern Ireland under 21s or Northern Ireland first team. I don't mean to be disrespectful, like, but it was just literally all about my club and Linfield, and that's how I don't get me wrong, I loved it and so proud of it, but it was just what I done with Linfield was the most things I enjoyed.
Okay, Michael, moving on to 2006-2007 season. What memories stand out from then?
Yeah, as you can see at the back of that one, it's number 12. So that was my first cup final. I was on the bench. didn't have a great season that year. It was sort of my own doings, whatever. And
tell us a little bit about that then.
yeah, I always got migraine headaches for a long, long time, but it wasn't really affecting the football or anything. But that season, I remember I was in Terry Hayes' wee medical room just across from the old changing rooms, the wee room we had there, and just had to lie in a darkened room before games and stuff. And so I went to the doctors. So if Paul McAreevy's in the store, he'd be laughing his head off now. So I got medication prescribed to me, and so I took them. So all of a sudden, no more headaches, which is brilliant. But then my performances dropped and dipped, whatever, and I wasn't too happy. And I remember one of the matches, it was me and Mackers were midfield, and someone would run past me a couple of times. Me and Mackers always slap at each other about pick him up or do this. Always drove each other on, but I couldn't even breathe to even slap her back to him. It was just like. And my game was all about up and down, run about like. But football was just like a real chore and a hassle that year. I just couldn't do it. And so David Jeffrey was fining all the boys on a regular basis, and I think I was a stone and a half overweight or something like that there. So it was a significant fine. So I was gutted about that first and foremost. I didn't want to go out the weekend. So I took it on the chin and tried really hard to get back to fit. But then I remember checking up on the tablets and the side effects and stuff a few months later, and it was a weight gain and muscle fatigue and dry mouth and all sorts. So I read this and I was delighted. So I rang David Jeffrey straight away and said, "Here, I think I know I put the weight on." Like,
did he give you your money back?
No, he didn't. No, he still owes it to me. I'll see him this Saturday night for Billy Joe's testimonial dinner, so I'll ask him for it. But no, he. So obviously, I came off the medication. I was told to stay on medication, bring yourself off gradually, but I just cut it out there and then, like, and it was too late to get back in the team towards the end of that. There, I was on the bench and I was starting to play better and get fitter, like, but no, it wasn't a great year, like, but you live and learn. So I had no headaches, but just couldn't run anymore. So I took a chance and went off the medication and went and played better the following year. So no, it was you live and learn with those things.
Okay, then, a personal accolade I'm sure you'll be happy with then yourself is making your Northern Ireland debut against Georgia.
Yeah, again, playing for your country is very, very special. I think that night David Healy was in the squad, and so was Steve Davis. I actually came on for Steve Davis, and Peter Thompson came on for Gaffer. So it was something you always remember the last half hour. And Alan Mallis was in net as well. So the three Linfield players were all on the pitch at the same time. I think the last time it was done was Lee Dock and Geordie Dunlop, and who was the other one now? I'm trying to think. There's three of them, apologies. But again, that there's something that there you'll always remember, and to share it with two of my Linfield friends and teammates, it was brilliant. So yeah, so that's my claim to fame. I came on for Steve Davis that night. He was on the nightmare, so they got me on instead. But I don't think I touched the ball, to be fair. But no, it was brilliant, and I think I was very proud for Linfield as well to have three boys involved in an international setup, and it was just very, very special for me and special for Linfield, and something that can never be taken away for you, an international cap.
Okay, moving on to the 2008 season. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was probably my best season. I won the Player of the Year for the whole league, so it was a really good year, and obviously we beat Coleraine in the cup final 2-1. So yeah, that was the year I got an international call up and had a really good season in the Irish League, and I don't know if we won 2 or 3 trophies that year, but it was special, and that always goes back to the famous Zagreb goal, which I haven't talked about in about 15-20 minutes or so. So yeah, I get tortured about that there, but it's again out in Zagreb, as we were talking before there, like a brilliant team. Mandzukic was playing, and Modric just left to go to Spurs a few weeks before. So again, we drew 1 each out there, and for me to score, like, and I don't score too many goals, but when I do, people still know about it. Like, it's a wee joke I have with people, like, so I'm so proud of it, like, and I still talk about it, but it's tongue in cheek, whatever. But it was great there, and it's good to see Big Winky there as well. Still, I remember fondly in the Linfield change room. I think he was playing that night as well, like, so he's looking as well as ever there. But yeah, that's just that red tap. I just remember me scoring in Zagreb and having a good season, winning Player of the Year. So that's a real standout memory in Jersey, that one there.
What about the cup final then? Obviously 1-0 down at half time. Paddy McLaughlin
just something
scored
similar
for Coleraine.
Yeah, just something similar to clean sweep one. I think there were 6 or 7 cup finals I was involved in, like, and none that really played too well in, like, and I wasn't ever nervous, so the occasion got to me. It was just obviously we played against a good team in the final, like, and again to come away. Peter scored both again, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He scored in every Irish Cup final he played in.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's just players you got there you had in your team. You were lucky. So if I was having an off game, or Mackers or whoever, and you had Peter and Spike up front, like, they're always going to get you a goal out of nothing. Like, and you look at the Irish League today, but strikers going about the league. We were so blessed and lucky to have players that got there, and wasn't just them. You had Davy Lammers and Chris Morgans and Tommy Stewart's, Mark Dixon's, Timmy Adams had at one stage as well. Like, they were just so lucky to have all these great centre forwards, and to go and win another cup final. I think I was the winner of third double in a row, so it was brilliant and a great memory.
Okay, then moving on, 2009 season.
Yeah, that was a brutal season. Just move on then. I think I broke my ankle that one, and I came back too early. I played through many injuries, and stupidly that's why I'm struggling to walk these days. But I remember that one, sort of broke my ankle and got misdiagnosed by the hospital. They didn't see a fracture in the ankle, so I remember out in Misley Park we were trying to get me back to fitness, and Brian McLaughlin was pinging balls into me, and I was trying to control it and give it back to him, but there was still a big sharp pain. I was just like, I don't know here, but obviously I went back and got it checked out, and there was a fracture in it. So again, and I came back too early as well to try and help the team, like, and didn't have the best of seasons. And that season, I don't think we won too much. I think Paul Munster, reminds me of Paul Munster, that jersey that season, maybe if he was here or not, or maybe I'm mistaken.
That reminds the game that was live on Sky. He scored a last minute goal against the Glens.
The Glens won the league that year. That's the last time they won the league, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I
can't even count far back that was.
Yeah,
that's many moons ago when they last won the league. So yeah, wasn't a great season overall, but again we tried, we gave it all, but again we didn't win the league. We were disappointed, but we went on to win 3 doubles for the next 3 years. So again, it gave us a kick up the backside to go out and perform and make sure it didn't happen again.
What was it like then trying to come back from the ankle injury, especially when you get misdiagnosed, and then especially from playing and having such a good season the season previous, and then coming back? You know, was it hard to adjust then to watching from the sidelines? Yeah,
it's not good watching from the sidelines, and I was one of those players who came back straight into the squad and was flying again. I needed a good few matches for the Swifts, or a good long hard sessions to get back up to fitness, like, so I couldn't have just came back into the team. So, but I was always torturing David Jeffrey and Terry Hayes to get me back, but I wasn't ready to come back, and then the performance wasn't unfair on the other players, or maybe players were dropped for me to come back in, but I was just so desperate to play. And as you say, coming down on Saturday to watch a match and sitting in the old South stand, you're just itching to get back out to help the team. And again, just that I had no patience, like, I just wanted always to play. But again, you live and learn as well. It's easy now as a 40-year-old to sit back to our young players to take their time and come back in, just do what's right for you, look after yourself and make sure you're 100% fit, because if you're not, your performances don't reflect it.
Then 2010 season, double winning season.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I think that just reminds me of Noel Bailey's last season as well. Yeah, the legend Noel Bailey, and it was brilliant. A lovely shirt, like the checker type thing on it as well. And another cup final, another 2-1 victory. Philly Lowry scored the first really early. Dublin got the second.
Peter Thompson. What a surprise.
There you go. So Peter and Philly, I think we were winning 2-0 after about 5 or 6 minutes, and I thought, happy days. And then Kevin Braniff scored a free kick against Blaney. So it was tough enough final in the end there, but lucky enough we held on, and I was secured another double. So yeah, that was a great memory in that shirt there. And I was sort of getting on in my years and time pushing on. But no, that was great experience. Great to pick up another double after the disappointment of the season before. So yeah, fantastic memories again.
Moving on then to the 125th year anniversary shirt.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it, and of course another Irish Cup final against Crusaders this time.
Yeah, I love that shirt. It was, as you say, the 125th anniversary. The lovely big badge on it as well. It just looked really, really smart. Really loved that there shirt. Yeah, and it's good. I've good memories in it as well. That cup final, actually, again, another injury story. I think we were playing the Glens out in Windsor a few weeks before, and I think Johnny Black hit me. Sort of went into each other, a tackle, and really hurt my knee, but I stayed on. And then I think I was speaking with Hazy and stuff, whatever, and I think they knew there was cruciate damage, so if I'd have got it scanned, it probably would have been out for a long time. So I just put it off, and probably selfishly I went and played that final. Lucky enough, Decky Goodale scored to go 1-up for them, and then Mulgrew came off the bench and was unbelievable.
Scored 2 late goals to win it that day.
I think Jamie got the first, McAllister got the second, wasn't it?
I think it was McAllister and then that man Peter Thompson again.
Oh yes, because Jamie shot and it bounced out there.
Aye.
Yeah, so again, we're very lucky to win that one. If we had lost that one, I probably would have blamed myself for having to play. I tried my best to play and I done okay, but then I came back after the final. I tore my PCL, so I missed about 3 or 4, 5 months or something to do lots of rehab. So yeah, it was a nice memory again. Maybe shouldn't have played; it was too sore, or whatever. But we're lucky enough we still won the game and secured another double.
Just what was it like? Tell us a little bit about the Irish Cup run then, because obviously we went so long unbeaten in the Irish Cup, and especially getting to so many finals. Was it nearly like it was just routine when you came to an Irish Cup Saturday? It was like just another Irish Cup final.
Looking back at it now, it was unbelievable. Like but I remember there was lots of pressure to go and do well. It wasn't easy, and we spoilt the supporters and spoilt ourselves, to be honest. Like, just for being so successful, and it was just one of those ones we never knew when we were beaten. And the last couple of years when we didn't win things, and that's when players got released from contracts and moved on to the other clubs. Like, so again, if you done well, if you played well, you won silverware. You won a contract, basically. That's the
you were rewarded for it, basically, you could say.
And rightly so, and we were well rewarded, and we were well kept on, whatever, and wasn't too many changes in the squad, but it was just relentless at times. Like, you wouldn't just go and win the trophy in May and just knock off. You maybe have a couple of weeks off, go on holiday, whatever it was, and then you're back in doing your own pre-season to go back to pre-season. And you know, at Linfield as well, we're always signing players to come and put pressure on you, so you weren't even looking. Next season you were looking, flippy signing. I always seen the sign centre midfielders, my early days, backers, Mountsies, loads and loads of players, Damien Kearns. I always thought they're come to take my place, so I had to go and play even better. I need to come back fitter. I'm just basically to stay in the team first and foremost, and then everything else looked after itself. The trophies, you were so well prepared and well fit, and it was just natural to come and play well in good teams. Like,
they would always say you have to have this mental toughness to play for the club. Is that something you would say yourself?
Definitely, yeah. It's even when I done an interview ages ago about the younger teams, whatever, and even under 16s, under 18s, under 20s. Every team that beats Linfield, it's like fair play to them. They're so happy, and they're playing the music, the change rooms. You can hear them celebrate and cheer. And we just go in the Linfield way. You go and win a match, and move on to the next one. You move on, and see the bigger picture. But again, it's a compliment more than anything. Teams always want to beat Linfield no matter what the situation is, and again, you need to be strong enough and be able to embrace it, and obviously give it your best and accept the challenge, and just accept no second best, and do as best you can at all times. Okay,
then another shirt from that season.
Yeah.
The anniversary game, Linfield Rangers. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I just loved it because I support Aston Villa, so the claret and blue looked sharp, and really loved their kit there. So again, that was a big day for 120th anniversary, playing against Rangers, and packed out Windsor Park, and it was great there. So yeah, I loved that kit. Again, that was a great season where we secured another double, the third in the trot in the 6th and 7 years. So fantastic memories, and just a nice kit for me to like. And people mightn't like the colours or whatever, but I just reminded me of Aston Villa. So enjoyed that.
It was especially something different.
Something different
from what from what we've always had it as an away kit. I don't think we've ever had anything like that since.
Mr. Eccles' head's turned every year about trying to please the supporters and getting in nice fresh kits. And
it's okay now, but he goes over to he goes over to Italy now, so he's all right.
He goes for a fortnight to pick a kit. I know. No, that's the thing. We're always looking to impress the supporters. You can't keep everyone happy. I might love one kit and someone else hates it, whatever. Like, but it's just, again, the traditional Linfield way of the nice royal blue jerseys, and again, you can't keep everyone happy, but looking back at all these kits I've had over here, like, I've loved the vast majority of them, like, and again, very lucky to have worn them all. Okay, then, moving on to this kit. Tell us a little bit about this season then, and what springs to mind. Yeah, I think that's more that's the year probably Cliftonville won the league, wasn't it? So we weren't really too successful. I think, again, we won 6 doubles in 7 years, and coming back up to this year was sort of, again, with same players, but it just had one of those seasons where a lot of boys didn't perform, and maybe the signings coming in didn't work out too well. And Cliftonville were phenomenal that season with Boyce and Gormley, and players that got there, George McMullen, Barry Johnson. So again, it was a tough season to have, but you can't win it every year. No matter how much you try and want to, it was a bad season all around. But again, a lovely kit there, and I fond memories of. I think of quite a few injuries that season all as well, but again, it was all a learning curve and something that made you come back stronger, and you just had to accept not win the league that year and trying your best the following year.
Moving on to this kit, another cup final against Crusaders 2012.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that's when the cup finals were brilliant, and a 1-4-1 was quite easy. That's when I didn't play, but I got my shirt. I was sort of another injury. I think we played the semi-final against Kilmore Rec, and we beat them. It was Newry. It was Newry, we won 7, I think it was. Yeah. I think we actually wore that marine kit the year before, so we won easy, but I got a bad kick in the bottom of the foot. It was sore, so I rested. And I think it was a couple of weeks later, I had to play a match before the cup final, so we had the Glens out in Windsor. I think I was marking Callum Burney for and he scored two headers from me. But I couldn't jump, I couldn't do anything. So I had injections put in my toe, and it didn't help. And that was the Saturday. So then I trained on the Thursday night. So Terry Hayes gave me these better injections, and it worked. I trained fine, no problem. But I got home that Friday, and I literally had to ice my foot all day. I couldn't get my shoes on. I was in agony taking tablets. I came to the Saturday. No Billy comes to the house to pick me up, as we always did in the cup finals. I couldn't even get the shoe on, and he looked at me as if like, "Are you all right?" And I said, "I get those same injections as I got on Thursday night. I should be fine." But I turned up to the Ramada, and Terry Hayes and David Jeffrey were there, and just sort of took the decision out of my hands for once. And I just said, for that there to happen, I would have played, I would have got the injections, but I think it would have had more damning effect. And because again, misdiagnosed, the X-ray came back. Firstly, I wasn't broken. Then after the cup final, got an X-ray, it was broke. So it was just right under the bottom of the toe there. So that was terrible. So I was gutted to miss it, but delighted we won. And probably even better day because we were warned not to go out and have a beer. But Dougie wasn't in the squad either, so me and Dougie went and had 4 or 5 pints. So Big Davey seen this and says, like, "You two drink?" I said, "Of course I was drinking." So I was flipping, couldn't play the cup final. I was gutted, so I wanted to have a few pints with my mate Dougie. So yeah, I still went on to win the cup, and it was great.
Okay, then moving on to the final 2 shirts you wore for the club.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about this. And
it was brilliant. We obviously got into Nike, so we had Gary tortured. So we got Nike boots, and we got Nike kits and Nike training gear. It was brilliant. So we got to choose 2 pairs of boots from all these big selections by Gary. Like, so it was brilliant. So we got boots. The kit was brilliant. We were in the Nike first season. Looked well. I think we signed Waterworth that year. It reminds me of Andy Waterworth and Sean Ward coming in there. Like, so yeah, that season we pushed Cliftonville all the way, and we just missed out, and very disappointing. Like, and that was my last season as well. So. Yeah, I was disappointed not to go out in the high, and I think obviously with not winning the league and stuff they got there, didn't put us in good positions for contracts and things they got there. And the club obviously needed Linfield, you needed to keep winning the league. You can't win the league each year, but Linfield wanted us to win the league each year, and we wanted to as well as players, but it's just not possible. And sort of had to do something different. And David Jeffrey obviously left, and Warren Feeney was coming in. So yeah, it was disappointing end of my career at Linfield, and anyone who knows me knows that I never wanted to kick a ball for another club. Obviously had to go and play for another club at the end of the day because I was only 31, 32, so had a few more years left in me, like, but it's still something this day I was devastated about and never wanted to happen. And anyone who knew me from my time at Linfield just knew that Linfield was my club and the only team I wanted to play for. So obviously I had to go out and play for Portadown for a while, and Cruise and Ballymena, but then again people were question why or how I played against Linfield and doing this, that, whatever, but I played for Portadown exactly how I played for Linfield, just basically kick anything, get moved and run about and try and win as best as possible. So just unfortunate I had to move on, and things couldn't get sorted out, like, but it was definitely very, very regrettable, and something I wish I just had got sorted out and just stayed at the club. But hindsight's a very easy thing. At 40 years of age now, you can go back and look back in times, and if I had just said I wanted to stay straight away, whatever, I would have been here, but just it didn't work out in the end.
How hard did you find it then, playing against the club, especially after serving the club
Terrible.
so well for so long?
Terrible, because I used to try and kick lumps out of Jamie, one of my best mates, like, and we still spoke and had a beer after, whatever. But I remember the first game, it was Shamrock Park, and we won 3-0, and I wasn't playing, that's probably why I won 3-0. So I remember Ribsy was playing, he was outstanding. Mark McAllister was unplayable. We were brilliant, beat 30, deserved to beat Linfield 3-0, first game of the season. I think I was actually presented with the Player of the Year, Players Player or something, Malcolm Brodie trophy or something from the year before. So I found that surreal getting that. I was scundered, I was embarrassed, I didn't know who to talk to or what. It was just literally, thank goodness I wasn't playing, because I wouldn't have been in the right mindset to play, like, so it was easy just to watch it. They'd done so well, so I was happy for the Portadown team, like, but I just didn't feel right at all. And then the next match I played, actually captain Portadown out in Windsor, and I gave away a penalty. Linfield won 3-2, and I flipping had a nightmare, and the whole South Stand were singing "Galty, Galty, what's the score?" And I was devastated, like, and for them to be singing, it was only a bit of banter, like, it wasn't nothing personal, like, but it was just sort of like I gave me all for the club and tried my best and didn't want to leave, and they're hammering me for what the score is, like, so I just said 3-2 and went on. So we got Portadown or Linfield in the Irish Cup and stuff, and I had a really good performance against them, and some man ran on the pitch and chased me. Say no more. Look, you probably catch me now. Couldn't have caught me now. Would have caught me now. But again, it was nothing. I was just so gutted to have left Linfield, like, and I just wanted to But again, it wasn't like a special like Linfield to go and try my best against them. Believe it or not, people that Portadown, I did try my best in every single game for them, but looking back now, just my heart wasn't in it, and just sort of, it wasn't Linfield, so it was very difficult to go and get as fit as I could. At Linfield, I was as fit as a fiddle and always tried hard and trained hard. I thought I'd really tried hard, like, to put it down, like, but as I said, my heart wasn't in it and just wasn't the same, like, and it just fizzled out for the next couple of years. But no.
Do you think if the club had have asked you to come back, as if under a different regime, you would have came back?
Of course I would have, like, but I just think I had that serious ankle operation just when I left the Blues at the time, like, and came back to Portadown, and no disrespect to anyone there, like, but it was the rehab I wouldn't have got with, like, Terry Hayes, so more or less I was suspended, shockingly enough, for the first 3 games of the season with Portadown. So in the 4th game, I was on the bench to come and play, and that was my own fault. Like I said, I wanted to play, so I wasn't ready. I didn't do myself justice, but then the injuries just piled up, and Ballymena had a bad knee injury and stuff like that. So I would love to have come back, but again, looking back now, if I had went back at 33, 34, I couldn't have went out in that Windsor Park pitch and given me all and run about, and like Jamie's doing now, which I can't believe he's doing still. No, I don't think. I would love to have seen it and tried it. Like, I was actually going to play for the Swifts a few matches. I was going to ask to register to play and see what it was like, but David Healy looked at me as if, like, maybe just let the younger lads play at times, like. So no, I don't think I would have come back. Wouldn't have been the same player, like, not a chance. No matter how much I tried or wanted to, I think I would have embarrassed myself more so than anything, to be honest.
And what about playing an Irish Cup final then, obviously, for Portadown? What was it like to experience that outside of Linfield?
That was just weird that time, because we had to play at the Oval and stuff, and it was an absolutely shocking day, and it was just
temporary seating and all.
Temporary seating, like, and it was a miserable day. It was shocking, but I think it was because Windsor was getting done up, whatever it was. So it was nothing, no fault, because Linfield, it was literally. So we had the choice. There was 2 choices or something, but we more or less, as the players, said, "I will just play at the Oval." Then, like, we were confident we would have won the match, like, so we just said, we'll play at the Oval. Doesn't matter to us, like. And then just obviously the situation with Ross Dunlop and the referee decisions when I run through, and the Glenmen still call me Slippy Gault, whatever, like, but no, it's refereeing decisions again. That probably ruined Portadown at the time, like. I think it was who was it? The referee. It was just shocking, like, in Portadown. If we'd have won that match, we would have gotten into Europe for the next season, but to no fault of Portadown's refereeing decision, I think Portadown probably would have went on to win the match that day and would have gone to Europe next year, but then the financial trouble kicked in and whatever, like, and I think it was just terrible for the club, and just through no fault of their own with refereeing decisions.
Well, thanks very much for taking out time this afternoon to join us, and I wish you all the very best of luck at Linfield Swifts.
No worries. Thank you, mate.
Thanks. Thank you. Cheers. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more episodes of The Blue Shirt I Wore coming to you very soon.